the office of Speaker of the House of the United States House of Representatives is hereby declared vacant.
An unprecedented moment in US history. Republican Kevin McCarthy, the first speaker to be removed from office. Divisions over government spending limits accelerated a Republican civil war triggered by a rebellion of ultra-conservative lawmakers.
If this country's going down, I'm going down fighting.
But this faction also opposes US involvement in foreign conflicts like the one between Russia and Ukraine. This isolationist sentiment is not limited to lawmakers, and one Republican presidential candidate is going even further.
He wants to go and stop funding Israel.
Vivek Ramaswamy's rivals accuse him of planning to abandon a long-standing alliance with Israel that has traditionally enjoyed bipartisan support. Ramaswamy has said he wants to wind down financial support to Israel by 2028, but he also insists he wouldn't do that until Israel says it no longer needs the aid.
Friends help each other stand on their own 2 feet.
If Ramaswamy's position looks extreme, it has deep historical roots.
George Washington was the first US president and a decorated military commander, and it was his first-hand experiences of the horrors of war that turned him against the US getting involved in foreign conflicts and forging permanent alliances with other countries. Washington was famously apolitical as the Democrat and Republican parties began to take shape, but his isolationist views became the model for American statecraft for the whole of the 19th century. But that isolationism ended with the US entering the First World War to fight alongside the Allies and defeat Germany, an intervention that was credited with turning the tide of the war, but with the loss of some 116,000 service personnel.
Nothing to stay for, nothing to hope for.
That isolationist impulse returned in the interwar period as the US grappled with the Great Depression while imposing trade tariffs to protect its economy. The US abandoned that position to again turn the tide of the Second World War before joining conflicts in both Korea and Vietnam. While the invasions of Iraq and Afghanistan were considered a modern brand of Republican foreign intervention called neoconservatism, supported by some leading Democrats.
From this day forward, it's going to be only America first.
And it was the human and financial toll of more than 20 years in both Iraq and Afghanistan that influenced a new wave of isolationism championed by far-right conservatives like Donald Trump. It culminated in Republicans' recent vote to block further financial aid for Ukraine, leaving President Joe Biden trying to keep his pledge to be Kyiv's most stalwart supporter.
It's critically important for the United States and our allies that we keep our commitment.
And Biden is also now campaigning for re-election next year against leading Republicans who are galvanizing a very different worldview.
They want other countries first, Ukraine first. They want all this stuff we give every time somebody comes over from Ukraine. They walk out with $25 billion.
Owen Fairclough, CGTN, Washington.